Another day, another series of announcements. Panasonic announces its latest, newest form of entry camera, the S9. This one has been rumored for some time. This is to be like a compact, sort of rangefinder style camera that Panasonic was getting. This is clearly aimed at content creators, at specifically short form content creators, people that are on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, those likes, things like that. And this is clearly the direct competitor to something like the ZV-1. So the question now is, how does this camera stack up compared to that? And also, for maybe some more professional filmmakers, is this something that we should even consider? All that and more today. What's going on, everybody? My name is Jim Jackson. If you're new here, I do tips, tricks, news, and reviews for the film and video making industry. So if those are the contents that you like, definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can stay up to date on all the content going forth. As we mentioned at the beginning, Panasonic announces their latest camera, the S9. This is a brand new camera that is going for $1,500. That is full frame, that has a lot of the similar features from the S5 II, including the same sensor, but with some more limitations given its size and the price range that it's aiming for. Now, if you guys are interested in the S9, I will have affiliate links in the description below. As well, I'll have it right here, and have a link that you can click to for at least B&H and Amazon as well if you want to check it out there. There's no additional cost for you guys here, but a little commission comes my way to continue help supporting the channel, and all your support and all your help is ever greatly appreciated. Most notably in the filmmaking content, it is the fact that there is a limited recording due to the fact that, one, it's because of the size. Again, there is no fan or any sort of heat dissipation. So Panasonic, in its conservative ways, has limited a lot of the recording. So for example, if you try to shoot 6K open gate, you are limited to only 10 minutes of recording. Or if you're shooting 4K 422 10-bit, you are limited to basically, I believe, 15 minutes. So to me, personally, that isn't really a big deal given the marketplace that it is aiming. It is aiming for people who are out here making really short form content. If you're doing stuff like live streaming or YouTube videos like this may become a bit more of a problem, but you can also resolve this in other ways if you still want to get a camera like this and be small and compact. Things like teleprompters and stuff that can keep you on point and sort of limits how many times where you may have to go over that. But from all the accounts from people that have used this camera who got the chance to go to Japan, unfortunately, I wasn't invited and I couldn't go. So, oh well, you know, hopefully maybe one day I will be. But until then, by all accounts, the limitation is really to, I guess, a conversation to protect it from going overheating, and it's more of a record limit instead of a heat limit. So as long as you stop, the timer goes right back up. It doesn't stop you or hinder you, so like previous cameras have done. So that is, to me, again, not as much of a big deal given the fact of the content and the style that it's being used for. The other things that we talk about, again, because it shares a lot of the features of the S5, you get things like Vlog, you get Panasonic's latest and greatest IBIS, and you get their autofocus, face detection autofocus system, which is pretty solid as well. And you're also still getting things like waveforms, vector scopes, exposure tools like that. There is some things that are missing that most professional people would probably be scratching their heads about. The number one thing is the fact that there is no headphone jack and there's no way to plug any sort of headphone into the USB-C. Therefore, there's really no way to monitor your audio, basically being like a big problem if you can't see this. That, however, can be kind of resolved with something like the Rode Wireless Pro that has that 32-bit float recording, where you could just take it into post, sync it up, and you'll still have that good quality if something randomly goes loud. I personally, if you're going to get this camera, I'm just telling you right now, if you're going to get this camera, I would say either get the Rode Wireless Pro or get the DJI Mic 2 system. My video on the Rode Wireless Pro hasn't come out yet at this point in time, but I'll just, little sneak peek, I will just tell you right now, go with the Rode Wireless Pro. Just my 2 cents. And doing it this way, this will actually give you a chance to basically be able to capture the sound, send it there, and then you don't really have to worry about it. That way, at the very least, you have those 32-bit float recordings and you can just try to fix it up and correct it in post. Now, the other thing is that there is the lack of an EVF, but personally, I don't really use EVF. And again, this is just me personally. I know for photographers and for some filmmakers, this is kind of a big deal. It's not really a big deal for me. And honestly, Panasonic has some of the better quality screens. Now, again, I don't know what this screen looks like on this camera, but from my experience with both my limited time with the S5 II, but a lot longer time with the Panasonic GH6, to me, their screens are superior than either Canon or Sony. And they're both in terms of their accuracy of what you expect to get out of them, but also in terms of just the brightness. I never had any issues with the GH6 getting anything in the sun. But again, I don't know about this particular screen, so that may not be the case. And so for me, it's never been a big deal, especially with cameras like, you know, this guy right here, the Blackmagic full frame. This is, I basically just go off the screen here, or I go off, you know, the external monitor. Speaking of external monitors, if you for some reason want to use the external monitors and completely ruin the reason of the compactiveness, I know I just made a whole name, so oh well, of the camera, then basically you can go through the micro HDMI. Yeah, love taking 2 steps back. Micro HDMI, gotta love it. Now, other features that have came with this camera is the new Lumix Lab. And essentially, it's basically where, kind of like how DJI has the Mimo app and then their other app, where basically you could throw all your video content there, you do quick adjustments, and then you get ready to send it out to the internet. This is definitely more helpful to me on the photo side because you can go ahead and cut it. Now, it's like other apps, you do get a chance where you can trim your video and do your videos, but if you're doing things where you have multiple clips and multiple takes you're trying to insert, this could take, from the little bit I saw of it, I don't know if this is necessarily ideal. You're still probably going to need some sort of NLE editing software like Final Cut, Resolve, or Premiere Pro, just to, you know, if you're going to deal with multiple clips. And even if you're doing mini content, having multiple clips, it would be easier doing that. However, I do like the fact that this camera does have a 5G transmission signal, so you can easily send this over to your phone, and you can even put stuff on the camera with their new OpenGate format, which is like a compressed 4K file that saves you a lot of time to upload. So, which if you're going to something like Instagram, TikTok, to me, this still works. Now, I don't know if this OpenGate 4K mode is oversampling, or if it's doing some line skipping or pixel binning, in terms of how it is bringing the field of view down to a lower resolution. Hopefully it's oversampling, and if that is the case, that's still a good amount of quality that you can go ahead and upload to something like TikTok or Instagram, where really most of the stuff is 1080, or like, even though the stuff that's on the phone is 4K, 1080 is more than enough. And then you got YouTube Shorts too, where you like that. This will be definitely more than enough for that type of style of shooting. The last thing I want to talk about is the body and the design of the camera. And I gotta say, I do really love the look of some of these colors that the camera comes with, especially that olive green. It has like a foresty look to it. So I really do dig that, but most likely I'm probably going to just get the black version. I just like keeping it simple, keeping it fresh. And I do like the design. I also like that they had the small rig handle that you can put on the grip and give it nice and compact, but gives you a little bit more grip to it. So I believe that is a great feature as well. And of course, we can't go on without talking about the LUT button, which they've made a really big deal out of this feature being on the back, where you can basically install your LUT and basically put in basically allows you to quickly transfer over to Lumix Labs, and you can do it that way. Now, as some of the other YouTubers have mentioned, when you go hit that LUT button, it overrides any photo style profile settings that you have. So if you have a LUT that's designed for Vlog, for example, it will automatically switch your camera into Vlog. And if you were not ready to go, basically, if maybe you were shooting at a lower ISO, it will automatically, of course, kick you off at 640 ISO. Now, given the fact that even when I was with the G8.6, I pretty much stayed with Vlog, this isn't a big deal. I think some kids, this is great, because then you could just, especially again, who is this for? It's for people that are just going out for content creation and shooting and things like that, where you can quickly get your content out there and upload it to your phone and have it grow it off to your social media platforms. That's really what this camera is for. And it still has some great options like 1080 120p, so you can shoot 4K 60. Again, it's in a crop mode, but just also keep in mind it's using the same sensor with the S5 II, which doesn't have the best rolling shutter, and it doesn't have something like the cinema camera 6K full frame, where you can use the gyroscopes and something like DaVinci Resolve, and you can basically know that. Overall, I think the body design is okay. It's again what they were going for. I do appreciate it. I just wish there was just a bit more tactileness to it, especially that back modal. As everybody says, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh gosh, I want to hit this so many times. And everybody talking about how they hit it so many times. So who is this camera for? I mean, if you haven't heard me on yet throughout this entire video, it's clearly aimed for short form content creators. But I also believe it is for people that just want to do like family trips or maybe some travel content creators. But again, for short form delivery, people that want to take vacation videos and things like that, where they want just something small. But on that last group where it's like you're going on vacation, if it were staying in the Panasonic realm, the S5 II may still be the better option, given the fact that that is a weather sealed camera, and this is not a weather sealed camera. So if you're going on trips where you may be dealing with water, ocean, things like that, the S5 II may be a better buy and a better suit for those things, and given the fact that it's only $300 more. To me, it's a clear direct competitor to cameras like the ZV-1 as well as Nikon ZF. Those are the cameras I think this is aiming directly to. And how does it stack up against them? Well, comparing to the Sony that has better autofocus, that has a lot good features to it. It has a headphone jack. It has a better rolling shutter sensor. So those are features that are definitely better than the S9. However, it's also quite more expensive. I believe it's like $2,200, so it's almost $1,000 more for that camera. But I've always said features in terms of ease of mind, ease of use, comes at a cost. If it's a means to where you can do that, then I would say. But we also got to keep in mind of if you're just looking at it for more from professional cameras, something that you may want to do for more travel, walk around professionals. Well, in that case, cameras like in its own line, like the S5 II or the S5 IIX, I think the S5 II has a lot more features in terms of has full-size HDMI, has a headphone jack, it has unlimited recording, it has fully weather sealed, and it's only $300 more. To me, that is, I would say, a good alternative to that. The other option, as I'll bring this guy back in again, especially since this guy is right now on sale. It has like $1,000 sales off. I'll leave links in the description, as well as the links for the S9. This guy right here is going for just under $1,600 right now. And this guy shoots full frame open gates as well in 6K, but it does it in a 12-bit RAW with a full-size HDMI, with a headphone jack, with professional audios, with a much bigger and better screen, might I add, and it has much better, to me, a more intuitive sense of button layouts. Some of the drawbacks is, well, it's only RAW, so you gotta be able to work in DaVinci Resolve or have an elite that can really understand Blackmagic RAW really well. The other thing is there's no IBIS here, there is no autofocus, so you are gonna be relying more on your skills. But the image quality, in my personal opinion, is much better than what the S9 offers and the S5 IIX offers. Again, my personal opinion. Don't come at me. Or actually, no, come at me. I don't care. Whatever. It's my opinion. It's my channel. But again, this right now is going for $1,600. So for me personally, I would just tell you right now, like, it has some competition. I think we'll see how it goes. I think it will find its audience, but I don't know if it's going to be as much of a sales as potentially as Panasonic may want. But I hope to be wrong, because I would love to see something like this from all the camera manufacturers. Something like a small little light compact that you could throw in like a little pocket right here and just travel ready to go and just shoot whatever content you got and upload and share whatever you want. I think this is great. But this is it for me, y'all. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know. Leave your comments down below. And as always, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, take care, everyone.